Good evening, everybody. Happy Tuesday. On a little bit earlier because we're just so dang excited. What a friggin' dude, most dominant performance so far, I think.
Are you happy? Is this what you wanted? What was the Jalen quote?
I think he said, "Is this all? Is this y'all wanted to see?" I would
Is
throw it
this
up,
what you?
but we keep getting copyright strikes.
It's insane. No, this is not what we wanted to see. Well, we want to see a win. We want to see a win every time the Eagles play. That's my threshold for success. As long as it passed the eye test. I mean, did any of the Eagles wins this season like not pass the eye test besides maybe two? Like maybe the Carolina game was a little funky, but all the wins prior to that and everything since has been good for me. What say you?
Yeah, I was just stunned. I went back and watched it, and just the amount of third and like 20 somethings that the Steelers were in,
Yeah,
and
DC was awesome.
it was insane, and we had a couple of turnovers early in the game, and then the D just allowed like I think maybe only like 3 points in that whole sequence too, and then they just rolled. And we all driving up, we're like, oh, we would totally take. It was like Steelers plus 5.5. We are like, I would buy like Steelers plus 7.5, and then the Eagles win by like
No,
two.
I missed the 10-1 parlay because the Steelers couldn't cover 8. I
That's
was like, the game's
crazy.
going to be close. I hit every other leg of the parlay except for the Steelers covering. I obviously had Eagles money line. I would never bet against the Eagles. I just thought through feeling that it would be a tighter game. Um, it's crazy. I was trying to middle. You know how we always talk about middling bets. Um, because
Yeah, I
Vegas
think.
kind of has it. You have a feel for the win, but Vegas usually has a feel for how close is the game's going to be. So one of our bet strategies is we'll tease up the points a little just to really cover ourselves, and then you put in the money line of the when you do have a good feeling a game is going to win, you get great odds that way. So call that your filthy betting tip, even though it didn't hit this time, but it's
Yeah,
I,
it
I was
usually
I was
works.
amazed.
Yeah, and it's going into this week too. It's like a really small line. I think it's like 3 points or something. But um, I say you can't do everything. Saquon, I think, only had like 65 yards. So like when they're passing like that, both Devontae Smith and AJ Brown had over 100 yards. So you can't do both. So to all the like they can't pass the ball people, they're like number one rushing offense and last in passing. There's a lot of teams that are like middling at both, and like they're elite all across the
There's
board.
there's three phases to the game, right? You have offense, you have defense, and you have special teams. And in order to win an NFL championship, you need to be elite in one or two of those departments, right? Special teams is not going to win you Super Bowl, so throw that out. So you either have to have an elite defense or an elite offense. Not only do the Eagles have an elite defense, but they have an elite rushing attack and potentially an elite passing game. They're not going to be tops in all areas, which is what's frustrating me with the fans and how I'm kind of getting into it. And there is a little bit of infighting on the page right now because it just aggravates me. And I guess it's fine that nobody wants to be satisfied. And we're not satisfied until we win a Super Bowl either. But we're also not going to be mad at the team because they're excelling in one phase of the game. And in another phase of the game, it's not great. And real quick, before I turn it back over to you, with the passing game, even on days where it's been run heavy in the past since the 2-2 start, Jalen doesn't turn the ball over. And that's a huge component to the passing game. So while it's not an elite passing game, he's not turning the ball over. So without not turning the ball over, plus great running, plus great defense is equaling wins. It's definitely enough to win the Super Bowl. So it irks me that the fans are so upset.
Yeah, I didn't love it. I didn't want them like airing it out to try and prove because they just feed right into their own frenzy that they created. I didn't want them to come out and like be pass heavy. They did play pass heavy and they fumbled and turned the ball over a bunch of times. Like when they take those 50-50 balls and there's chances like that, they're going to turn the ball over. And I think the strength of this team is just controlling the clock. It didn't come to fruition in the Carolina game, but they control the clock. They play defense, and I mean, they could have defensive player of the year with Jalen Carter. They could have
Yeah.
rookie of the year with Quinyon, and they're just
And they're going to
they're
have
just
the runner
unbelievable.
up MVP Saquon Barkley, if not MVP is if Josh Allen keeps the pace of what Josh Allen's doing, he's going to get the MVP. But Saquon's going to be second
He was
or close
ridiculous.
to it.
Josh Allen was ridiculous.
Yeah,
Some of
Josh Allen is
the
having a career season, and that's
but
and good for them. And I hope it's the Bills. It would be great to play the Bills in the Super Bowl at the end. I think they're two great fan bases. It would be the most fun tailgate in the history of the universe, I would imagine.
yeah, and the Lions just keep losing so many players. They're so injured, and the Chiefs now with Mahomes out, and I mean we beat the Ravens.
I have a real hot
Bills
Lions
still, I
take.
don't trust the Bills. I don't think they are as deep as we are. I forget who
My
was
hot
saying
take.
it, but the Eagles have like old veterans that are elite. They have people in their prime that are elite, and now they have like young talent. They have like 3 levels of talent. It's crazy.
Yeah, my hot take. I think the Lions are going to be a wild card team. There's no way they overcome their coach and the injuries. They can overcome the coach, but they cannot overcome the two. You can't overcome both of those things. And the Vikings don't show any sign of slowing down, and they have a pretty simple schedule going forward. Where we can pull up the remaining schedules. I don't know if you saw it, but I did. Actually, did I end up posting that? Like a remainder of like those 3 teams.
Yeah,
No,
the
actually,
Lions
I
have
didn't post it, but I have it ready to post.
the Lions have the
I'll put it up right
Bears,
now.
the Niners, and the Vikings. I have it
Yeah,
right here. Um,
I
the
just
Bear,
posted it on Facebook. I was editing the meme out. Pull up Facebook; it's on there.
yeah. Um, they play each other, which is crazy.
Yeah, the Lions play Chicago, San Fran, and Minnesota, and the Vikings play Chicago, Seattle, Green Bay, Detroit. So the Vikings have a ton of
They
games
could
within their division.
definitely lose one here, and then we need the Vikings to lose one. So we've got they play. These are tough too. Seattle and Green Bay. They're in the playoffs. We got to
And
like hope
just
this
make that
one.
12, right? You can make whenever you pull this up because I was working on this graphic yesterday, but the 15 week 15 Chicago game, obviously the Vikings won that game. So all 3 12-2 teams. There you go. All 3 12-2 teams. I think the Eagles clearly have the easiest remaining schedule. I think either the Lions or the Vikings have a built-in loss because they play each other.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, man, if they all have to come through Philly, that'd be quite the turnaround. But they're
Yeah, so
talking a little.
that's the script right there. Vikings come back for the NFC Championship in Philly. Could you imagine?
Yeah, and they're talking a little bit about it, like when do you rest people, but they still have to take this like one game at a time mentality. I don't know at what point, like if the Lions win the next 2 or if the you know Vikings win like these next 3. At what
I
point are we just locked in at the 2?
it could be close. It's certainly not next week, and I think you can build in the rest that you're talking about. I think you can build into the game plan, and I think they kind of might have done that against Pittsburgh. I mean, Saquon only had 65 yards. I thought there was opportunity to use him a little bit more, but you can sort of just scale back his usage in that regard and sort of build it in, and then that way you're not like resting guys for weeks and weeks, and then you have rust arguments and all this stuff. I mean, keep doing what got us here. I think is the best approach, and I think
That
that's a good way to
Gainwell,
proceed.
like 3rd and 15, it just like was a check down, and then he made a miss and got the first down. That was a really nice
Amazing.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's get into the Pittsburgh game. Tailgate was out of control. We spent for the first time we did C6 like basically beginning to end. We didn't do our normal like bounce around. I don't know about you, but I got like caught up in it. Like usually we kind of will be at our early spot, then we'll stop there for a little bit, say hi to our friends, take some pics, get some footage, and kind of move on. But being there from like the second we got to the lots, I got swept up in it, and I didn't even think about leaving. I had so much fun.
Now, because like people just kept coming, like Sean Landetta came through, Ricky Waters came through. Jim Cramer came through. The governor came through. Like, and I had two other friends, like Ryan and Sean, were coming from North Jersey, so like they came like a few hours into it. It was like people just kept coming. Like
Yeah.
Jamie was there, and he had his new tea drink. Like Malik came, and like Maniac Williams, some of the Bet Parks guy, like
Yeah.
E-Rock came by. Like people just kept coming.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
every half hour.
And by the way, shout out to the food. The food kept coming out. It wasn't like a lot of times when you go to a tailgate, this isn't a knock on any tailgate. This is C6 is built different in this way. It's like you go to a tailgate, it's like the spread of food's out, right? It's like, we got hoagie tray. Here's your hoagie tray, and that's a hoagie tray for 3 hours. These guys have all these different things coming out every like 15 minutes. I would turn around and be something different. They're slicing up beef and put barbecue sauce and bone-in ribeye kind of thing comes out. Then they have these stromboli things that were absolutely unbelievable come out. And then they're doing a chili cook-off. And then, I mean, it was
like the bacon. Matt
elite.
had the bacon.
Oh, that bacon was insane.
Go Birds, Ben says. Yay,
Go
yay.
Birds. Sorry for my absolute bodied voice. It was so cold too. I don't know if people realize how icy cold it was.
I was really comfortable. That sweatsuit, I had to drop yours off, by the way. That sweatsuit was really warm. I had like a base layer on in that sweatsuit. So shout out to Ponley Hockey. That sweatsuit was baller. A lot of people compliments on that. A lot of people stopped me and was like wanted to get one, and they have their Shopify up. That was awesome. Yeah, it was good. And a friend of mine too. It was part of his like best man groomsman gift. Corey got Sean the tickets, and then he had the ride planned and everything. So the Geiger's limo is nice. I love the stretch. So classic.
Yeah, the old school stretch limo was awesome. I could figuring out the Bluetooth for the first like 20 minutes because it was like kind of like an old school Bluetooth setup, but we figured it out. We got to go.
Dolphin.
The Pioneer old school, but we got that ripping. The only thing, and I was being an old man about this, is it is so difficult to get picked up. And this is a stadium wide issue. Like when we were in Brazil and we were trying to find our Uber and like getting this, it sounds like us being kind of like stuck up, and trust me, we're not. We come from humble beginnings. We're happy to be where we are, but like getting a limo to pick you up after an Eagles game lets out was not easy, especially when you're trying to round up all your buddies that have.
I know. I
been
tried to
vibing
do
all
it
day.
on that main road to be able to take like 95 north, like the Wells Fargo where we crossed, to try and get out of it a little bit. But he told me too. He's like, I'm right across from the train station. I just couldn't see him. Then I was like right there, like way across the street. But
it was easy to figure it out. And then another hilarious aspect to it. So you guys go. We get back to our spot where our cars are. You guys were heading out to buy a bite to eat. I'm like, listen, I want to go home. So you guys left, and I had the whole thing all to myself.
Back.
I had my Kevin McAllister moment. I cracked an ice cold Coke Heavy, which is now my official term for Coke, regular Coke Heavy. I had a Coke Heavy in the back seat and a nice quiet ride home.
It's red too. It's like the same as a Bud Heavy.
Yeah, I'm a big Coke Heavy guy now. I was into the DC when like Eugene was real popular, but I think I might be swapping to Coke.
Nah, you need the real sugar, less chemicals.
Yeah,
Coke Heavy. They killed the Steelers. They did. I didn't get to talk to Anthony at all.
You're in a group chat on Facebook, but you never log into your regular Facebook.
Yeah, they're still gonna.
I never log into
make the
Philly
postseason.
Messenger.
I think there's still a game up.
Facebook.
Yeah, there's still a game up on the Ravens. They'll be all right, but
yeah, they had a good day because the Colts
they don't really have any passing game, and their running game's not as good as ours.
And they didn't have George Pickens. You know, that's a factor. I mean, George Pickens in that game is a factor, especially in those red zone turnovers. If you have George Pickens, that's totally a different game. But shout out to our defense for locking up on those 2 turnovers. But, you know, listen, when you have injury, you play who you play. I'm not making any excuses for the win. I'm very happy about the win. But, you know, when you have big-time players out like that, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I didn't see it. It was I didn't see it going down like that. I just figured like that some.
No, I thought it was be closer.
at some point, like, get tripped up a little bit, and I want to see like how they would respond to a loss, but they might not lose another game. I mean, they might just keep rolling.
It's highly possible, and then it's going to come down to. We hold no tiebreakers over either of those two teams. So if they went out, we went out. We're locked into the two. One of them obviously has to lose because they're last game of the season. But
Yeah, one of them has to lose, but it's cool. This game is what next week coming up is really tight. It's a 3.5 point line. 70% of the money's on the Eagles again.
yeah,
It's
this
kind of
one scares me
trappy.
a bit. This one scares me a bit as a trap game. The other odd factor of this game is that the ticket prices are really high, and what that tells me is that Washington fans are kind of holding on to their tickets. They're not really selling. They're like only selling at like a high premium. So, but I think the Eagles takeover will be in effect. It'll probably be somewhere around the realm of 50-50. But the get-in price is like 200-ish right now. 176 plus fees, and that's for bleeds, like 400 level bleeds.
Yeah, we tried to do it a few years ago, and then I think COVID happened. Like, you used to be able to call down there and get a ticket sales
Yeah,
rep. Like, you can't do this with the Eagles, and you could buy like 4 rows of seats. And like that's what
absolutely.
Vince did. He has like a whole block in the upper level,
Mm-hmm.
and he has a whole block in the lower level. So he got in
Philly
that.
Sports Trips is a killer deal this week. If you can get on Philly Sports Trips and get a ticket, you're good to go.
Yeah, it's and you get to sit with everybody together too. So
Oh,
and
it's
he's like, I don't
it's a
know
no
next
brainer.
year if they're so popular now. I don't know next year if they're gonna be able to sell me like the box seating like that.
Yeah, it's a no brainer.
They used to reach out to away fan bases. They still call. I think they called me like earlier this year to
Do you
buy.
remember the COVID year where we tried to do? We were just going to do like not ever try to do a travel company because that's not ever what I would want to do. I mean, Vince is amazing for doing all that, but we just wanted to get like 10 and come bring a group, and we even had a deposit, and we had really cool seats on the tunnel, blah blah blah, and then COVID, and then they kept our money for like half the season. You remember that?
Yeah, yeah, and they still called me to see if like we want to do something. They call me like once a year, like in the preseason.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's a
that'll
cool
be
date for me too. I mean, it's kind of like it's like a in-betweener game, right? Like right around Christmas. So I don't know.
yeah.
I could pull the trigger last minute and do Philly Sports Shows, but as of right now, we got a lot of family stuff to cover
I
here,
told
so I
him
don't
I
know
was
if
like
I'll be able to.
we might have to go to we'll have like 2 home games and have to go to like Detroit or go to like Minnesota or to
Yeah.
the
What's up,
or the
DeRay? Go Birds.
Bourbon Street or the Bourbon Street. Yeah, fly Eagles fly.
Go
Going
Birds.
spewing reviews.
Guys, in the comments, I want to know, how are you guys feeling about the team right now? Are you confident? Are you too confident? Are you still hesitant? Does the pass game freak you out? What about the run game? We will respond to every comment that we see live during here, so make sure you guys do that. Also, while we're here in the middle, we have some people in here. Make sure you visit our brand new website, filthyandphilly.com. Has everything that you possibly need. Holiday shopping stuff, probably past the deadline to get it to you on time, but you could still put a little picture of it and give them an IOU. C24 says Super Bowl.
Yeah, they look good, man. They don't have many deficiencies right now. That's for sure. And it seems like the new formula. I mean, the Lions run the ball a lot, but they lost David Montgomery. The Chiefs run the ball and have been playing a lot of close games. There might have been a like shift in the analytics department to like, you know, turnover differential. Don't turn the ball over. Control time possession. There may have been a flip there, and the Eagles are on the front end of that, or it's just Saquon Barkley. But
Steve on Insta thinks the defense is going to carry us through. I believe that. If you look, usually it's elite quarterbacks that end up winning Super Bowls, but there are plenty of examples of non-elite quarterbacks winning it. I'm thinking of like Brad Johnson and the Tampa Bay team uh, on
the
the heels
Ravens.
of a rushing attack and a defensive attack. So you can do it without elite quarterback play, but I'm not ready to say that Jalen is not an elite quarterback. I think he is. I think he is a top 5 quarterback. He's definitely top 7. Just kind of just depends on the game. I feel like it's more game plan than Jalen. I don't know. I still have a lot of confidence in Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at the playoff picture just in the NFC, and I mean, would you rather have Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff?
Oh, there's no question.
Probably
If
Jalen
you saw
Hurts.
me just smiling and looking, we just got a comment on Insta. Elizabeth is coming all the way from Canada to the. She said for the Cowgirls game at the end of the month. Make sure you stop by C6 Tailgate or Fourth and John and come say what's up.
Yeah, I mean, would you rather have Hurts or Jared Goff? I'm gonna say Hurts. Would you rather
Oh,
have
Hurts.
Hurts or Sam Darnold? Hurts.
Hurts.
Would you rather have Hurts or Baker Mayfield?
Hurts.
Hurts or Matt Stafford?
Hurts.
Hurts or Jordan Love?
No brainer. Hurts.
Hurts or
It
Jaden
probably stops
Daniels?
at Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen for me, if I'm being
But I'm just
honest.
going NFC. I mean, he's by far of the teams that are in the bubble.
Exactly.
He's
He's the best quarterback in the NFC.
better
Who's
than
better
Brock
than him in the
Purdy.
NFC?
Yeah, it's really just
And it's a team game. It's so aggravating that we just dissect the team so one-dimensionally. It's a team game. It's 3 phases, and those 3 phases have to work. And if one of your phases is elite, it can bring up the other one, and that's fine. Like, let's enjoy it.
yeah. No disrespect to Jared Goff, he's been awesome, and Sam Darnold is like a top high end talent. He just was on the Jets, who are just a dumpster fire, and he finally got a second shot. So no
Although, man,
disrespect.
those Jets put up some numbers this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. Now that
Aaron
it
was
doesn't
back.
count, that they're now that it doesn't mean for anything. They're playing loosey goosey.
Yeah, they're playing for contracts and playing for money. I think. And Devontae Adams had a humongous game, like a 50-point fantasy week of any Devontae Adams holders. Holy moly!
Yeah, crazy if you had him going in your like first round of the playoffs or whatever.
Real quick, you had a tough fantasy week, right? Me and you are in
I'm
the final
out in
four
I'm in like 3 leagues. I'm out in all of them. Let's
in
think.
the league that you and I are in together. So I had a bye. Did you see how many points my team scored while I was on
Oh,
bye?
getting to like 150, 200 points on the buys. That's
189 points on bye.
oh,
Like
that's
3
brutal.
guys on bye. I had Devonta. I had Goff. Oh my goodness. I had the running back from Brown from the Bengals. All these guys got like 40, and I had AJ Brown on the bench get 30. So I got some decisions to make in my semifinal week. But we don't usually talk fantasy on here because it drives Phil crazy.
No, if you're feeling good, if you have David Montgomery, you're screwed. But if you have Jameer Gibbs, he should get all
I
the.
have Jameer Gibbs.
You should get all the Johns and
I
Saquon.
should. I should. Say you had Saquon, so not have to worry about him crushing me because I
Jamar
hate rooting
Chase,
against our
Puka.
own
Oh yeah,
players.
he had a bad week too. Bad week to have
Really
Saquon.
bad fantasy week, yeah.
Fancy.
You didn't need much. You lost 88 something to 90 something. You were in a low scoring game.
That stinks.
It's rough. Yeah, it was rough for you. I was rooting for you.
But AJ Brown has a resurgence now, and
Oh, I'm starting AJ Brown. Have to against Washington. That's a start.
AJ Brown. Heck
Lots
yeah.
of action on Instagram. Instagram's doing good. Got to go Birds.
I wish the Instagram comments fed through here. I have to keep jumping back and forth. So the Facebook and the YouTube comments pop up through our streaming platform. But maybe eventually they'll get an update. And we could feature all your Instagram comments across the board. But you gotta follow us on YouTube. We're like probably 600 something followers since the relaunch, and trying to give away.
Yeah,
that
everybody
jersey
watching right
stuff.
now, we're giving away a jersey. As soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, jersey of your choice, go to NFL shop, order one. Not the $300 crazy one, but the 125 level one. Pick it, tell us your size. We'll send it to your house as long as you're a subscriber. YouTube, so you got a good shot to win.
Yeah. I was worried the first time we played the Commanders. I don't know what to expect. They're on like a little bit of a skid. And a lot of
Yeah,
them
they're
aren't
playing for a
even on
wild card
defense.
spot.
They
Always got to
need it.
watch out for a team like that at home.
And the over-under is 45.5.
I've been picking the under like every week. What did the under hit on what Eagles Steelers had to? The Steelers only scored 13 points.
What was it,
Which is
26?
my threshold. Remember when I was talking to the Eagles defense allows 15 points a game. Now that's probably a little bit less. Now it was like 15.8 or 15.9. Now it's probably like 15.4ish, 3ish. So it's always like plus or minus 7 off of that, or 3 probably if it's under the 15. I
It
think
was under
Washington
40 for
scores.
sure.
Yeah.
This one's 45. They're expecting some points this week.
Right. So if you go off the Eagles allowing 15 points, if you say Washington's a touchdown over that, that puts it in like the 23-ish, 30, 33-23 Eagles,
That would
something
be
like that.
over big time.
Oh, that's an over. Yeah, it'll be over. This will be an exciting game. I don't
They're
think
going
it's
to be
going to
moving.
be. Is there a weather issue? I haven't checked the weather in DC.
Weather, Landover. It's just
Checking right now.
high chance of, oh my gosh, 30 degrees.
If it's
18.
ice, if it's like a wash, like a washout weather wise or something like that, I would change my prediction. But otherwise, I think it'll be a nice high scoring game, a nice exciting NFC East battle. Washington really needing this game probably a lot more than the Eagles with just everything. But I see no reason for the Eagles to stop rolling now. It's rare that we sweep the NFC East. Have we ever swept the NFC East? Ever?
I'm going way under 23-17.
Yeah, that's probably a better choice.
40, and the over-under is 45.5, so it's going to be probably even closer than that. It's a 3-point line. But I just can't pick against the Eagles at this point. I think they have too much going for them. The Lions were like the darling of the NFL, and I thought they were getting every call and every break. But the national perception is now like everyone like really likes the Eagles. And I am a conspiracy person in it that I think that the NFL has in their bylaws and in their terms that they are an entertainment league, and if they can get the Eagles and maybe like the Chiefs again, even though Kelsey's not playing anymore, if they could run that, or they could get Josh Allen in there and Saquon the MVP and the MVP runner-up, I think that's kind of what they want. I just don't think the Lions have enough. It's shame for them, but good for us. It's all about the views, baby.
Yeah,
that was the most expensive ticket last week, and we were the second highest. The Bills-Lions game was crazy.
Listen, the Super Bowl is a juggernaut. The NFL is a juggernaut. I don't really think who's in it is changing viewership. I think they set record numbers every year, regardless of the two teams playing. I'm on the other side. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I truly think it's impossible to get a 56-man roster to go one way or the other, even with officiating and stuff like that. It's too impossible to rig, too big to rig. So my Super Bowl prediction, I'm going to stick with Bills Eagles. I think the Bills are the best team in the AFC, and I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. And that's just how I feel. The Lions, I don't think their coach can stay out of his own way. Guy does an onside kick with 10 minutes left, plus the injuries. And then Sam Darnold, I don't think has the playoff experience. I think Jalen Hurts has the best playoff experience. The Eagles are the best team if you look at all three phases. So I see no reason.
There's games on Christmas too. We're gonna have a little bit of like we're usually live on Tuesdays, but we're Christmas Eve is next Tuesday and New Year's Eve, so we might have to rip it on like Monday or just like in the morning. I mean, we're not gonna really be doing much anything. I'm gonna be around, but
yeah, I might be able to jump on like do like a Tuesday matinee show. We could talk about that. It'll be fun.
The day there's Christmas games, so
I have my Eagles.
There's
Christmas
games on a
Saturday.
Wednesday. That's got to be really screwy. So you have Chiefs, Steelers, and you have Ravens, Texans on Netflix.
And one of them's like on Netflix, which I hope Netflix has their bandwidth figured out.
They're both on Netflix. It's crazy. We're winning either way. Bullish on the Eagles.
Yeah, you gotta be. Gotta be. All right, meme
Pull up
time.
some meme Jones. I'm gonna go with
So for those of you still watching, this is meme of the week. So Phil and I go deep down into the internet. We have and share some of the funniest, best original and repurposed memes on the page. Most of our stuff is original, 99% of it. So we pick our favorite memes of the week. If you guys have a favorite meme or something that you think is hilarious, please DM it to us. And if your business ever wants to be featured in meme of the week, we will feature your business in meme of the week.
heck yeah.
You're up.
Let's get it. I'm gonna go with
on your cheesesteak. Hell no, I don't eat mayo. You put mayo on your cheesesteak? Rumplements. Yeah. I try it. It wouldn't be an everyday thing, but I mayo on a cheesesteak? No. Yo, you like the mayo on a cheesesteak or nah? Oh, no shot.
Duck go down. Duck go big
Nope.
down.
Love it.
That's
Let me get the Chase U remix.
The Chase U remix.
Because Chase U remix is my take, which is like it's delicious.
It's delicious.
You put mayo and ketchup on a burger, right? And it's delicious. A cheesesteak is similar. Now you don't put mayo on an elite cheesesteak, right? Like I'm not going to go to like Angelo's or like Jim's or one of the top tier ones and slather it with mayo, but like a low tier pizza shop.
You're at like
what
the heck's that place called? You're at like Kessel's with the shredded lettuce and stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a great place. That's a great example of actually a very good cheesesteak. Castle's in Ocean City and a great burger.
So good.
Yo, you like the mayo on a cheesesteak or nah? Oh, no shot.
Just tell me you're a fraud without telling me you're a fraud. I don't know what it is, but I think people are just afraid to admit that mayo on a cheesesteak goes hard. Look, before you come after me, no, you don't need mayo on a cheesesteak now that the Cooper Sharp and fried onion frenzy has taken over. It's perfect as it is. You can bet your sweet behind that there's a good amount of people from Philadelphia that if they weren't going to a quick stop cheesesteak spot like Steve's and they were going to a local mom and pop, there's a really good chance that they were getting mayo and ketchup, an absolute Philadelphia delicacy on a cheesesteak with their order. So don't you even dare try to tell me that mayo doesn't go on a cheesesteak because it's just straight up disrespectful.
Yo, you like the mayo on a cheesesteak?
Love that.
He said you can keep the lettuce and tomato. I like it. It's called like a cheesesteak hoagie with the lettuce.
Yeah, and the other thing too, and you remember these from when you used to come visit me at Rutgers, like the fat sandwiches that we had. There were tons of versions of fat sandwiches that had mayo and ketchup on them, and it had like cheesesteak meat. Yeah, mayo, ketchup. It was like cheesesteak, chicken fingers, mozzarella sticks, French fries. That was one of the most delicious ones.
Gyro
gyro style with it. Yeah, sticks. Absolutely. So I kind of had my meme picked, and then I posted something this morning that hit really hard. So I'm gonna do a runner-up and then a meme of the week. My runner-up is sort of twofold, but I'll just go with the Dallas one. Is the Dallas fans fighting in their own stands? That's an Instagram reel. Dallas fans down bad.
Yeah, the Dallas guys. This one's going hard too. Gotham wins.
That boy's so fine and he's breaking my back. Working up a sweat, yeah, I like it like that. Making it clap till I see that morning light. He tastes so sweet, something kind of like honey. Beating it up like I owe him money. It clap till I see that morning light.
So that's also the new jam from your favorite karaoke band, Dixon Dallas.
Oh my god!
That's their new
song. I wish the Super Bowl was down there. I would love to go to AT&T.
Oh God, I loved. I hate Dallas, but I loved Dallas. I loved being there. It was a fun town. Actually, Fort Worth, not really Dallas. But I am going for my actual meme of the week. I am going with Where is it? Drones in Jersey. It's got to be drones in Jersey.
Drones and
We live
Jersey.
in Jersey. If you guys don't know, we're from South Jersey. The drone thing's insane. I get like 80 texts about drones a day. Drones in Jersey. Took me forever to edit this. So for those of you guys that can't see, it's like a 6-minute clip from the end of Goodfellas when Ray Liotta is like totally strung out and like freaking out that the helicopter's following him. That's like a 6-minute long scene with him. If you actually watch it, he like goes inside Karen's house and he goes back out and then he picks up his buddy and then he leaves again. He's going to all these places. He's moving guns around. So I had to chop that up to every time he looks up at the sky.
Yeah, and every time he looks up the sky, he has like more and more. They must have put like more and more eye makeup on him.
It's
He
like,
looks
yeah, it's worse.
sweatier and worse, like as it goes on. And like our friend Ed that came with us, he thought it was like the funniest thing. I was like, after linking up with him at like 9:00 in the morning, I showed that to him. He was dying.
He was dying. And then there's one more that's an actual meme, and I just posted this. This is just funny because I know you probably haven't seen this yet, but I started following this like weird betting group. I love following weird groups. If you guys know me, you know that's my thing. I follow pages that have like 500 followers. They're my favorite thing to follow. Is a betting group where they're giving each other betting advice, and it's a giant fan. Pull Facebook up. It's a giant fan that doesn't understand what the money line is.
Was it on R8?
Yeah, I just posted it. Like when I tell you, like minutes before the podcast started. I didn't put it on. I didn't share it to Instagram yet.
Can someone please explain to me how the money line works? That's hilarious.
So this guy stacked the Giants money line on top of over under and spread, and he didn't hit the over under. And he picked the Giants spread, but then also picked the money line and was really confused. And then even the comments, like people still don't understand the money line works. Like, you can't bet the money line and the points at the same time. It's like, yes, you can. Sometimes it's smarter to do than others, but
you get a little extra bump. People are explaining to him.
Yeah, and then people are thinking on our post, we're asking the question, it's a beaut. She's a beaut, Clark.
Mayhem.
Mayhem.
Yeah, you can't bet the Giants right now. They're literally finding ways to lose games on purpose. So
imagine betting, and it was a Giants fan. That's what the funniest part. I chopped that part out because of how I wanted to chop the name out.
Heck yeah.
All right, plugs.
My plug is it's gonna be my my sweatpants and hoodie from Ponley Hockey. They've been great to us. They've done 2 months worth of partnerships by where we build a custom package. We'll do a mix of static posts and videos and plug their business. Plus, I wore all their gear to the game and we did some videos in the parking lot. And they've been great. And they sent us some gear, and they have a full shop available because they're actually an official partner of the Eagles and the Steelers. So they're allowed to use their logos and stuff on their own personal merch. And it's really high quality stuff. And then, as always, our shop too, code FILTHY on our 570 Creative Shop. You can still get a Christmas sweater. Like you were saying earlier, it's not guaranteed to come in time by Christmas, but you can get IOU and you'll have it for the rest of the 3 or 4 more regular season weeks, plus hopefully another 3 or 4 more playoff weeks heading in the Super Bowl. Another like 2 months. Crew neck hoodies getting cold.
Yeah, that hoodie is one of the best fitting hoodies ever. It's like tight on the sleeve and super baggy and puffy everywhere else. It's like the perfect, like, I'm hanging out on the couch, comfy And they'll always comment every time you're wearing it. If you post something where you'll like Pond Lee Hockey, you'll just slide in the DMs like or in the comments. Nice hoodie. So yeah, definitely shout out to them. As far as our page is concerned, filthyandphilly.com. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. And Phil, I'm going to hit you with a last minute question because I just got a text from an old buddy of mine who always hits me with his Philly sports questions, and this is a good one. It's a Christmas present question. He says, Vic, is it committing treason of sorts to ask for a Larry Bird jersey for Christmas? I already have a Dr. J, bear in mind. Now, this is a diehard fan. He's also very Irish. He's got the Irish thing. He's like a throwback guy. Are we permitting the throwback Larry Bird jersey? We'll leave on this note.
I would never buy it, but people wear players. People are players fans, especially like the Mitchell and Ness stuff, the throwback stuff. That's our boy. What's his face? Big Rube or whatever. Holla. He's the originator of Mitchell and Ness and got some of the rappers and stuff
right
to start wearing the jerseys. Mitchell and Ness was originally just they made like pinstripe, like Yankees throwback jerseys. They were two middle-aged guys that started it, and they specifically had the Cooperstown like baseball jerseys. That's all they had, and then they started getting in the the Michael Jordans and the AI re-releases and the Georgetown AI jerseys and Larry Bird. I'd say heck no, though. I'm not.
So you're a heck no. I authorized it for him under the guise of him being like one of the premier Irishmen I know. Like he has like the family shield cross that like the Irish bros get. So I under the like it's cool to wear on St. Patrick's Day, Irish culture. I authorized it, but as far as like wearing other players' jerseys, no. Do you own any other players' jerseys? I actually do. I have one non-Philly jersey in my collection, and it's a Peyton Manning Colts throwback Reebok that I thrifted because it was like $10. I never wear it, but I just have it because I thought it's cool.
I don't think I do. It's all Philly related. Probably
Same.
My most recent purchases of Bel Air Academy, like Will Smith jersey.
Yeah, my most recent jersey purchase is the Clark Griswold, but you saw me wear it the other night. It's the non-Blackhawk version. It's I got one with the moose on the front.
From
it's
like Wally World, like the Wally World moose.
Yes.
Yeah, the Wally World.
All right.
What Christmas movie are you watching tonight?
This is a big night for us. We are watching Red 1, which my boys were killing me to go see in the theater. And I kind of was like, yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Maybe we'll go over Christmas break. And because we've been busy with early sports. And it's on Amazon Prime for free $99. So my wife just came home with a bunch of pizzas, and we're going to eat pizza and watch Red 1.
Yeah, Cousin Eddie, Uncle Eddie or whatever was just here. He did an appearance. I think he was like on the run, and he was leaving. He left the country. I don't know why. But he just did an appearance in Philadelphia for iHeart for Q102 for a live event.
I saw that. It must have been good.
Yeah, Randy Quaid. He's back. Yeah, he's not in trouble anymore, I guess, supposedly. Man, you look like two scumbags talking Philly failures. That's great.
I wouldn't even read that out
loud. We're keeping our shield up so that we don't get let down. We've been let down far too many times.
What failures were we talking about? I don't even understand that comment. Anyway, the best Randy Quaid besides him in Chevy Chase is in Independence Day when he like flies the plane at the end. He is so good in that movie. That's my other favorite Randy Quaid.
Randa, that's crazy. Well, enjoy it. Happy holidays, everybody. Happy holidays, everybody. We'll see you next week at some point with the holidays. We'll figure it out. So stay tuned.
Yeah, we will see you before Christmas. So this is not the final show before Christmas, but if you guys don't tune in or you don't get this, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of our friends, followers, fans, and trolls. Enjoy it. Go Birds.
Oh, the
We're gonna
Chiefs
be-
fans. That's fine. We'll see you down
no,
there,
he likes us. Nah, he's cool.
boy. Later.
We want a rematch, bro.